umaga mga kasangbahay! Ang makita kung ano ang nasa ilalim ng dagat ay isa sa mga exciting experience in scuba diving and free diving. Makikita rin natin kung ano ang kalagayan ng mga dive sites na nagbibigay naman sa atin ng mas malawak na kaalaman tungkol sa ating karagatan. Pero alam naman natin na hindi lahat ay may pagkakataong makapag-scuba diving. Kaya naman isasama namin kayo sa aming mga diving adventure. At ang ating diving destination ngayon ay ang City of Gentle People, ang Dumaguete City. Kaya gear up na buddies and join us in making waves beneath. I'm Cindy Maduma and this is The Dive.
Come and join our journey down into the reefs and tides. Come and sit beneath the waves, the wonders of this life. Open your eyes and see the world below the seas. It's the wonder of God's creation that makes us believe. What the dive.
Isa sa mga dinarayo ng mga turista sa Negros Oriental ay ang scuba diving experience. Ilan sa mga paboritong dive destination sa probinsya ay ang Dawin. Pero hindi papahuli ang Dumaguete City.
There are 4 marine protected areas. So Bantayan at the northernmost point, and then Look, Mangnao, and Banilad is the southernmost sanctuary. So those 4 are diveable. They're all diveable. Of course, the Look sanctuary is beside the port, so you have to be careful that you don't transgress into the port area. I'd also like to say there's a lot of free diving that's possible here. So all along this between Bantayan and Look area, it's beautiful for free diving. The slope is not too far off. You have to walk out during the shallow, and the currents are not too strong. Actually, in between Bantayan and Look marine protected area, that's all coral, and that's a coral slope. There are turtles, and that's actually where a lot of people free dive and snorkel. All right, so that whole area, that's multiple dive sites right then. And then in front of Banica River, there's actually a wreck. I think it was a cargo ship anyway, and that is a great site for some wide-angle photography. Actually, all 4 sanctuaries have a lot of hard coral in the shallow portion. They have a lot of fish on the slopes. The Look Marine Protected Area has a bit more of a drop-off. It gets a bit steep. All of them are great for wide angle. In between Look and Bantayan, there's a dive site called Secret Reef that one of our local dive instructors, Snoopy Montenegro, really, it's his personal, not a secret anymore, but beautiful mackerel. Some very unique critters there.
Pero tulad ng ibang diving destination, apektado rin ng pandemya ang diving industry dito sa Dumaguete.
The major impact, of course, was the loss of livelihood for a lot of the dive guides, the dive instructors, the dive resorts, as most of our guests would, of course, be foreign guests or guests from Manila. So with the lockdown, it's been more than a year. From a very good year in 2019, where there were a lot of guests and steadily increasing, all right, to total 0, 2020, and up to now. Up to now, it's better because the restrictions have allowed local divers to dive, but still, a lot of guides and a lot of instructors and dive resorts have had to close and do other business.
Kadalasan nakikita natin na may magandang epekto ang lockdown sa mga marine environment na nasisisid natin virtually. May mga kwento na nag-improve ang underwater features, mas dumami ang marine creatures o sightings ng mga marine mammals at sea turtles. Pero para sa isang diving instructor at economics professor na si Rene Junterial, wala masyadong nagbago sa lugar kahit pa nag-lockdown. Dahil bago pa man daw ang pandemya, mahigpit nang nasusunod dito ang sustainable diving practices.
You could say the pressure on some of the marine protected areas has lessened because there are less divers, but that's really minimum. I can't really say that there are positive effects in this because of this pandemic with regards to the diving situation.
Tara na't sumisid sa Banilad Marine Sanctuary with your dive guide. Ang Banilad Marine Sanctuary ay sakop ng Barangay Banilad. Matatagpuan sa bandang timog ng Dumaguete City. 41.2 hectares ang lawak ng sanctuary na ito. Last July nakapag-dive dito ang grupo ni Instructor Rene. Ngayong araw, balikan natin ang kanilang diving experience. Accessible ang Banilad MPA through shore diving. Matapos ang ilang minutong paglalakad papunta sa entry point, nagsimula ng mag-descend ang dive team.
Who's allowed to dive there? Anyone. There's a sanctuary fee for it. Goes to the marine protected area. It's 100 pesos. It's accessible as a shore dive, but you can also access it by boat. And when you're there, actually, you can also contract with a local fisherman to use their boat to take you out if you don't want to swim out.
Hindi nga lang ganun kaganda ang visibility ng tubig sa araw na iyon, pero agad namang bumungad sa grupo ang makakapal na seagrass bed. May patches of corals din na makikita na para bang different cities underwater. Sa di kalayuan, may malaking table coral ang aagaw sa iyong pansin na tila napapalamutian ng iba't ibang uri ng isda.
Dive. Start the dive.
Iba't iba pang uri ng corals ang makikita. Kapansin-pansin din ang dami ng mga isdang naninirahan dito. Sari-saring reef fishes. Mixture of coral garden and seagrass bed ang Banilad Sanctuary. Literal na underwater garden. Medyo may kalakasan ng current, pero isang magandang senyales ito, buddies, dahil kapag malakas ang current, maraming species ang makikita. Maya-maya pa, isang school of barracuda ang bumulaga sa grupo.
Manila Marine Sanctuary has a lot of stuff. In the seagrass outside the sanctuary, there's quite a bit of mackerel, harlequin ghost pipefish, robust ghost pipefish, thorny seahorse. There are frogfish also. But the main feature of Banilan Marine Sanctuary is it's a large school of chevron barracuda. I think it's chevron, but a large school of barracuda. Sometimes they come shallow, but usually they're in about 18 meters of water. There are nice hard corals and soft corals. On the slope, that's where the barracuda are. There are quite a few big barrel sponges. It's not a deep site. It's not a deep site, actually. It gradually slopes. The only thing is it's quite a bit of a swim out.
2001 nang naitatag ang lugar na ito bilang isang marine sanctuary. Sa 2 dekadang nakalipas, nakita natin na napanatili ang yamang dagat sa sanktuaryong ito. Subalit ang Banilad Marine Protected Sanctuary kabilang ang 3 pang protected areas ng Dumaguete ay direktang maapektuhan ng proposed Reclamation Project sa lungsod oras na maaprubahan ito. 2014 nang unang binuksan sa diving community ang Banilad Marine Sanctuary, kasabay ng paglungsad ng diving tourism sa Dumaguete.
Immediately, of course, these 4 MPAs will be affected because as is seen on the map, the reclaimed areas directly are on those areas. And I have to say, in my opinion, the dive sites to the south, in Bacong and in Darwin, there will be some sort of effect. To the north, Sibulan, San Jose, there will be some sort of effect. Maybe even Sumilon Island, maybe even Apo Island event somehow, because the science has shown this is a big, strong current area. And all of these marine protected areas are interconnected. Even if they lessen the reclaimed area, probably, even then, proximity to dredging and silting like that will damage these marine protected areas.
Pero bukod sa mga marine protected area ng lugar, maapektuhan din ang mga public beaches ng lungsod. Dahil dito, bukod sa marine science expert at mga conservationist, nananawagan din ang Dumaguete diving community na huwag nang ituloy ang panukalang proyekto. Isa na rito ang local free diver na si Ramon.
The natural sites of Dumaguete are very accessible. Whether you want to try free diving, scuba diving, snorkeling, or in the other side where it's mountain, explore the mountains or check the waterfalls, they're all just 15-30 minutes away from Dumaguete City itself. And the best thing about it is anyone can go. Like me, I was a teacher before in Silliman University, Fine Arts. And before breakfast, I can do my free dives. I can go check out corals, and that will also be my exercise. And then I can come home, have breakfast before we are going to school. You can also do that during your lunch break. And this is a public beach. It's open to anybody who wants to go there. No entrance fees, no nothing. It's just free for anybody. There's no discrimination or anything. You don't need a membership. You're just there, then it's free. And the dive sites, the corals are alive.
Nitong nakarang Hulyo ay nag-free dive naman si Ramon sa Piapi Beach. 100 meters lang ang layo nito mula sa shore. Hindi man sakop ng marine protected area, makikita na may coral garden din sa site.
It's not even a protected area. It's just outside. The marine protected areas are really protected with a cordon there. There's a cord going around it. And you're not allowed to go inside unless it's an official business. But around it are actually live corals with a lot of fish, and me or anyone else can go there. That's why I took that video, just to show everyone that it's alive and anyone can go.
Tubong Dumaguete City si Ramon at dahil malapit sa dagat ang kanilang syudad, nakahiligan na niya ang paglangoy dito. Kaya naman nanghihinayang siya sa masisirang natural na yamang dagat ng Dumaguete City kung matutuloy ang proposed Reclamation Project.
I've seen one argument online now. Why the planet is 70% water. So why we're just asking for a very little bit, but the coral reefs actually are just a very small percent of that open ocean. So those are very special areas. If they destroy that, we're going to lose a very important part of the ocean, which is where almost a fourth of all marine creatures live. The other countries, let's say, I did some research also. Let's say for Singapore, since I brought up Singapore, they made the Jewel, which is their own indoor waterfall. Now that one cost them 1.2 billion US dollars, which is around 62 billion pesos. That's 3 times the amount they're projecting for this reclamation area. That's to build just one waterfall, which Dumaguete has everywhere. It's very accessible. Like we have 2 waterfalls nearby that are very accessible. Now the next one is the aquarium. The largest one is the Chimilong Aquarium in China. That one is 300 million US dollars to build. I'm not even talking about maintaining it. That's around 15 billion pesos just to recreate what we have here. And we have 4 marine protected areas, and around those marine protected areas have their own coral reefs, which we're getting for free. So we're going to bury that. We're going to spend 23 billion pesos to bury that, while first world countries, which we are trying to be, are spending like tens of billions of pesos just to get the same thing.
Bukod sa pagiging freediver, isa rin siyang animator. Kaya naman ginamit niya ito para ipanawagan ang pagprotekta sa marine life ng Dumaguete.
Hi, my name is Tonton. Please ra, ayaw intawon og daota akong puluyan. Imbis na suportahan ninyo, inyo na lang umuunog sa mot. Sige nalaman mo, pastilan gid mo sa wa, gyud.
You know what they like to say, art always imitates life. And actually the better animations out there are really good because they're very close to imitating what life is. What I noticed also with all these discussions now about marine conservation is a lot of it is already preaching to the choir. We're talking amongst ourselves and we're all agreeing, almost like an echo chamber. What's important about marine conservation is we get to reach beyond our circles. We get to convince the general public and not just people who get to experience it for real. Now, the best part about animation is the appeal of these characters. And they'll be like, wow, like even Finding Nemo. Everyone all of a sudden, everyone knew what a clownfish was. So you could see the power of animation there, of reaching out beyond marine conservation into the general public to help spread the word about marine conservation. So as an animator and as a very concerned individual for the environment, I thought this is a very good little project to do. I'm actually going to make more episodes about it, so you can keep in touch. We need to reach beyond our circles, and animation is the best way to do it.
Song of the dive. Song of the dive.
Base sa mga Facebook post ng official page of LGU Dumaguete, nilinaw ni Mayor Felipe Antonio Remolyo na ikinukonsidera ng proponents ng Smart City Project ang lahat ng suhestyon at pananaw ng mga stakeholder. Ito ay upang malimitahan daw ang magiging epekto ng proyekto sa kalikasan. at maiwasan din ang displacement ng locals. Prioridad din anya ang mga taga Dumaguete City na mabigyan ng trabaho mula sa planong Smart City. Gayunpaman, patuloy pa rin ang panawagan ng mga tumututol sa proyekto, kabilang ang diving community.
This is just my personal opinion, okay? But I'm coming to you from a perspective of a diving instructor, but also an economics professor at Siliman. There's nothing wrong with development, but the problem is, in this day and age, we cannot sacrifice the environment unless there are concrete positive benefits to it. And even then, it's rather hard because the value of these these resources is huge. You can't just quantify them based on the fish they give just today. It's the fish that they will be giving for how long, plus the fish that they will be giving to other MPAs. So the effects would be huge. So in my opinion, I don't think this is a good idea because of the cost and benefits involved. We're losing too much. It's an unclear proposal. It seems to have too many red flags, politically, legally, all of that. Plus the damage that will be done. I mean, these marine protected areas were put in place because they realized the benefits that they could give, right? And they were protected, and there was money spent on them also. Okay, and they benefit the local fishermen. They benefit other MPAs and all of that. So the value that we will lose is just too much. Plus the other areas which are not MPAs, they are that's still valuable natural resource. If you can see on the map, that's seagrass beds and mixed coral reefs and mangrove forests. The loss of all of that will outweigh the benefits of this, smart city, in my opinion. Continue to be vocal about what we believe in, but let's keep things civil. This is a city of gentle people. This is an educated population. Let us try to work things out and to follow the proper procedures. For Mayor Remulio, I believe in his visions of developing Dumaguete. His plans to develop are great. I supported him on that, his overall plan. But I would ask him to maybe take a step back and take a look at this proposal again and see whether it really does benefit everyone the way he thinks it benefits everyone. And maybe, if possible, as usual, let's be data driven. The scientists do know what they're talking about with regards to a lot of this. I hope he can also keep an open mind about things. And I'm hoping that this can all be resolved amicably and in the proper forums. And I have faith in the councilors and in the mayor that they will do the right thing.
Last September 8, nagpaabot ng sulat si Dumaguete City Mayor Felipe Antonio Remolio sa City Council. Ito ay upang i-withdraw ang kanyang request for authority to sign the Memorandum of Understanding on the proposed Smart City Reclamation Project. Salamat mga kasangbahay sa inyong pagsubaybay. At bago tayo magpaalam, shoutout muna tayo kay Thermalin Ngipol. Maraming salamat, buddy, sa iyong komento. Comment mula kay Thermalin Ngipol: love your program and yes, you should be featuring the importance of preserving our Mother Earth. Due to climate change, definitely, Philippines will be the one of the countries who suffer. So go, let us preserve our natural resources because there is always a way to coexist with nature. May natutunan ba kayo sa ating diving adventure ngayong araw? Like this video and comment down below your thoughts and share. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to our official social media accounts. This is your diving buddy, to dive.
Some of the time